almost there for you. You know, you gotta take care of yourself these days. Because anything's possible, you know. One minute you could just be standing there, and the next minute you're ripping your buttocks to shreds. Whoa. Okay, here we are. What's happening? Is everything happening the way it's supposed to be happening? Seems like we got the audios, we got the keys, we got some strings, we got all sorts of crazy stuff that you don't even know. You don't even know. That's, I guess, what this show is about today, right? What are the limits of the human experience? Now, if you told me just even like 20 minutes ago that a 70-year-old man was capable of shredding his own butt cheek, I would tell you you're crazy. There's no way that's possible. There's no way an older gentleman has the power, the ability to tear through some of the most, strongest muscles in the body. I'd be like, you're crazy. There's no way that's possible. But turns out it is. And I guess it makes me think about, right, what else? What else is possible? What else can you achieve through just straight up brute force willpower? Something cool. I mean, I'm thinking of things that are cooler and more productive than shredding your butt cheeks, but right, if that's possible, what else is possible? Something to think about. I'm just gonna dive right in here. I'm just gonna dive right in. What do we got? Switch it over. Wait. Let me just. I'm just gonna move this thing over here. And then switch the screen. Here we go. Now, right, we're coming up on Mother's Day. Depending on the country that you're in, I guess most people are going to be experiencing Mother's Day this weekend, and it's obviously a strange time for everything. But right, there's probably a chance that maybe you don't have direct access to your mother. You may be missing your mother. You may also be just living with your mother and getting super annoyed about being in quarantine with her, that she's doing all sorts of annoying, crazy things. And right, there's also a chance you're totally driving your mother crazy with all your video game playing and loud teenage music. At any rate, right, all relations are strained in one way or another, and the relation with your mother is not going to be any different. But CNN knows that's a sensitive subject, right, for all of us, and it wouldn't be a good CNN article if they didn't just come straight after your emotional center, right? This isn't about passing along information. This is about triggering your emotional center to get a response out of it, because that's how you call people to action. That's how things change when that emotional center is activated. And anybody that knows what's up is gonna go right after it, right? And this is right. I don't want to say that it's all on CNN. It's all just CNN's game, because everybody that knows anything about this world knows that that's how this world works. You got to go after the emotional center of people, right? That's one reason why I have these keys here, you know. Every time I play a chord, there's a certain emotion behind it. And there's a good chance that you recognize that emotion, that you had it at some point in time. And depending on the chord, there's a lot of different chords, right? And the whole concept is that if you can combine them in the right order, you have access to every single feeling that was ever felt. And it's the same with the written word. That's all, the emotions are just sort of there and get to be recombined. And if you know how to wield them correctly, just like with these chords here, well, I don't know about that one. That's a scary one. Right, I gotta practice actually. If you know how to wield these emotions properly, it's like a weapon. It can be very powerful. So, right, everybody's had this fear, this thought of losing their mother, and especially now around Mother's Day, that's really the last thing that you want, right? And obviously, I'm knocking on wood, and I don't want anybody's mother to come on hard times. And I guess there's nothing to stop CNN from going after those emotions, right? Because, well, it's a pretty simple formula, right? What's coming up? What's the holiday? Oh, it's Mother's Day. Well, what can we do? Let's definitely run some fear porn stories about mothers, right? Okay, can you scour the country? I'm sure you can find some daughter that lost their mother that is willing to talk to us and give us a quote, right? And that's probably definitely guaranteed true for this person, right? That no one is gonna love her like her mother. That's just, I mean, that makes sense. And it's sad. It's all very sad. Just like a sad minor chord, but that doesn't mean necessarily that it's good, right? This happens to me a lot in music when I'm playing music or listening to music. Sometimes you can find some really sad music and then you just sort of bathe in it. You're enjoying that sadness, but is it necessary? Is it pushing you forward? Is it raising your vibrations? It's a very negative culture, I would think. There's less desire to have sort of happy things, right? That happy music is way less interesting than the sad music. And that's right. I don't think that's by accident. I think the proclivities and desires that I have line up with a lot of feelings and emotions that are floating around out there in the world. And I think it's all connected, right? That's just the nature of our reality. So I think it has a lot to do with this fear porn, this negativity that is constantly spewing out that right, we get addicted to it. We get drawn even further towards other negative stories, right? And right, CNN was really on a roll. These articles were right next to each other, and which right obviously makes you think, well, yeah, they do these kind of things in batches. They'll pull together, I don't know. I don't know how it works there in the newsroom, but they'll be like, "Hey, staffers, can we get 4 sad stories about moms dying before Mother's Day? Because that would really just get people super scared and anxious. Can we write those articles? I don't even want to look at these articles. It's just pointing out this sort of horrible but just true fact of our reality that yeah, they're constantly on the search to find out exactly what is going to hit you the hardest, right? It's Mother's Day now. I mean, what are the chances that when Father's Day rolls around that they're going to be running dying father stories? And it's so morbid. And also, right, they're always showing their cards. It makes you realize how tenuous this whole situation is and how important, nay, critical, the fear is. That is really the only one true important element in this entire event. Without the fear, this whole thing collapses. And that's, well, I don't know. We're not really supposed to talk about that, but speaking of things we're not supposed to talk about, I would encourage you all to more than occasionally check out this publication, the MIT Tech Review, because, well, yeah, they got their finger on the pulse. They know what is happening. They know that. Speaking of what is happening, what is happening, Grant Harper? It's good to hear from you, dude. I'm doing all right, you know. Life in quarantine can be just a real mind fuck, right? You have all this time to do what you want, but at the same time, you have all this time. And just not a lot of human interaction, let's say. I feel very lucky to still have my job, actually, so there's money coming in and some human interaction through the workplace, but right, as with everything, it's all severely reduced and distorted. And there's that great sense of loss, right? That those memories, those times of even just a month ago, it's not coming back. This is what we got now. But anyways, I want to get back to MIT Tech here. I read most of this article. As with all these things, just definitely a misrepresentation, a distortion of what's going on here on YouTube and the discussions that are happening. And I almost, right, I don't really want to use any of these words, even though seems to be this double standard. Right, I did the show yesterday, and it's interesting. It's hard to know what people are actually thinking about all of this and their watching habits. But I'm trying to do my own research. I've noticed that when I bring up certain subjects or right, maybe play certain videos or mention certain people that are popular in this fringe community, then well, let's just say the view count is cut in half. There must be something happening there that pushes that video down, let's say. Which it's something you've heard about, but it's interesting to actually experience that. Oh well, and then doing this bizarre research to figure out, well, what did I actually say in that video? I guess I did mention that fringe topic or that other fringe topic, and now, well, what do you know? Nobody's watching that video, and it triggers this weird emotion, right? That like, oh well, I'm sorry, Mr. YouTube. I really didn't mean to piss you off. Like, I'll do anything. I'll talk about the ponies and just switch my entire format so I can be friends with your algorithm. Just please like me and send me on to more viewers, right? Which is a horrible mindset to be in, because it's right. It's keeping you from it, just emoting and being yourself. It makes you second guess every single little concept and word that you're going through. And right, just like with the mother story, it's almost like the point of the whole thing is buried in the mechanism. There is no sort of like end stage for this thing. That's the whole point of this low-key censorship and algorithm manipulation through keyword tabulation. It's that chilling effect, especially here on the creators, and it's yeah, it's difficult because yeah, this whole space has changed very rapidly, very quickly. A lot of people have altered their behavior. It's really honestly hard not to. But what can you do about it? What can you do about it, right? So this article, I mean, basically they have a guy going on a more sort of higher profile show and talking about some real bad stuff, right? Being the opposite of this word, and getting all angry about how, right, getting 1 million views and how these videos are full of misinformation, still lies about the current epidemic, and right, and then some more frustration about how, well, these videos were left up. Most of them were only borderline. They were allowed to stay up, and right, had that same thing that I'm talking about, the view counts reduced, the exposure reduced, but still being allowed to remain online. And right, you're obviously supposed to be very frustrated and angry about this fact that this information is allowed to just continue to flow unabated, uncontrolled. And okay, yeah, sure, they did delete a video, but that's only because they decided, right, it had medical misinformation, and that really is the new most dangerous thing that you can talk about, right? So anything, and their algorithms are very good these days, right? I think they really can realize when you're talking, the tone that you're using, right? If you think this is a good thing, or if you think it's a bad thing, and they can. That's just that machine learning. They have all of it's not just the words and everything that people are saying. It's the inflection and the style. I think they can analyze all of that to see actually what is the stance once these keywords come up. What is the stance this person is having to these words, right? And obviously, it's sort of vague, alighting conversation we're having here, but that's just sort of the only option at this point, right? I do sometimes have fantasies of jumping over to one of those more fringe platforms, BitChute or DTube or whatever it is. This is actually on DLive right now, but then again, that it feels like a defeat in and of itself, right? That's sort of exactly what they're all hoping is going to happen here, that everybody scatters to the winds and reads scary things like this article, seeing that they're coming for you, and you basically give up and stop talking. And that definitely is the goal, right? To have this internet, to have this instantaneous communication system, but then to not have anybody actually using it to, say, espouse their views or maybe inform people about lesser known topics and ideas, right? You really, if you are going to communicate, it better be just lockstep in line with the ideas that are espoused in articles like this. So and this is nothing new. This is really nothing new to anybody that's in this space, but it's still I like to track these guys' articles because everything that whenever they come up with a concept or something, right? They've been releasing a lot of really relevant articles about the current crisis and basically laying bare the plans, and a lot of what they've talked about has already come to fruition. And so I don't doubt when you see an article like this from these guys that some new solution is on its way. That right, if the algorithms weren't already tightly controlled enough, that they will find a way to narrow this information flow even further. And well, yeah, I'm not sure what that actually entails, but yeah, I know it's just going to get harder and harder to get information out here. But I guess we can still comment, we can still deal with this mainstream stuff and put the spin on it that we can, right? In the end, it's like, who gives a fuck, right? I'm still allowed to say whatever I actually want. I can play whatever piano chord I actually want. I can even switch it to an actual piano. YouTube didn't stop me from doing that. Take that, YouTube. Take my piano sounds. Government is tyranny. Investigate Building 6. Building 7 is a red herring. Building 6 is the real mystery. Anyways, I thought this was just kind of nuts. I hadn't heard this was going down in Bogota. Used to be a place that you would want to go on vacation, but I guess vacations are canceled for now. But this is kind of nuts. Over there in Bogota, in Colombia, they have it so men and women are going outside on different days. They are separated. A policy of making men and women leave their homes on alternate days during lockdown in Bogota is fueling violence towards the transgender community by the police and public, right? And as with all these things, right, you gotta drill back towards the social justice thing. That's the real issue here is our changing sexuality in the global culture and an acceptance of varied tastes. Well, in reality, right, a lot of this is always going to be about pushing the genders closer to each other, which is always sort of a sticky thing to talk about because, right, just like with me playing free piano chords, I encourage you to choose whatever piano chords, i.e., sexual preferences, you decide, right? It's completely up to you. But at the same time, there are, just like in all these news articles, there's just an endless stream of news articles and entertainment and just everything the entire culture can throw at you, trending us towards certain behaviors, right? And that has to do with what to buy and what to think about the crisis, and nothing is spared there, right? And so you better believe that all of that power and influence is going to be angled at your sexuality as well. And that, just like with the virus, just like with the virus or any other sort of subject or push that the people are making, that there is going to be an agenda there, and that, right, even though it may feel like that is your pure own desire and decision that you came to completely on your own, that, well, you may have been influenced in one way or another. And I mean, that's just how culture works. There's no escaping it, even in a less scientifically targeted, right, masterminded sort of society that we live in these days. these brainwashing effects come from every society, even if it's just a handful of people. You're still going to have these effects. But I guess all of it is to say that, yeah, still do what you want. But I guess, yeah, just like with everything, you got to watch your back. You gotta really dig deep to find out the real reasons why to do something and why to be a certain way. That's all I'm saying. But it's just kind of nuts, right? And this is totally gone under the radar. This article only seems to be have been shared a couple, not even 100 times, barely 100 times, and I guess it's kind of new, but this is a pretty good story for this whole debate here. But at the same time, it's sort of like psychopathic that they are separating the genders through this crisis, right? That they've taken that option. And just like with all of these rules and things getting put in place, don't really expect any of these rules to be repealed and replaced anytime soon, right? Even if the virus goes away completely, a lot of these things are gonna stick around. And I guess Colombia is a very traditional society, but what's up with that? Why are they separating those genders? I'm confused. Now, we're getting to our title story here, because it just can't all be too doom and gloom. That's just right. We don't want to get exhausted here, because this really is a marathon, right? You gotta keep your strength, so you can keep fighting forward, keep struggling for understanding of this world. And if it's all just no work and only play, wait, the opposite of that. You gotta manage your brain. You gotta fill it with good thoughts as well, because there are so many negative, scary things just flying at you constantly. You really gotta do what you can to buffer yourself up, and maybe that's what the Independent is attempting to do here. Apparently, Brian May, I guess he's part of what's it called? Queen? That's a band. Apparently a very popular band. Brian May was hospitalized after, quote, ripping his gluteus maximus to shreds in a mystery gardening accident, he has revealed. Queen guitarist shared on Instagram an image of him wearing a face mask before clarifying to his fans that he hadn't experienced anything coronavirus related. The virus didn't get him, but he did manage to shred his buttocks. Now, I don't know. I feel like this story is really going to stay with me, because it's just so puzzling, right? How could a 72-year-old man achieve something like this, right? I'm trying to picture all the different options in it, because it sounds like he was just gardening, right? Over enthusiastic gardening, and like what could all that entail? Did he have like a backhoe, or maybe some like large object? I mean, I'm picturing maybe him like stepping off like a high ledge, or maybe, right, because you really need to rapidly raise your knee, or maybe like just do some hardcore splits. I'm just trying to think of all the different, but like the body position that you would put yourself in to right, to exert this much force. But almost that, right, if you're 72 years old, you personally don't really have that much force, right? That'd be like I don't know, trying to break your own arm. you would need some sort of third party object or something. So but I still can't really picture it, right? Did he like trip over something, or is this all just like an elaborate euphemism for, I don't know, having crazy sex, or like, it's just so puzzling to me. I cannot figure this one out. I honestly I'm baffled. Turns out I did a thorough job. This is a couple of days ago, and I won't be able to walk for a while or sleep without a lot of assistance because the pain is relentless. I mean, I feel for the guy. Can you imagine actually tearing your own buttocks in half? That sounds super fucking painful. He said he was sent home after being looked at by doctors and that he was asked to, quote, go dark for a while and, quote, get some complete rest. And right, what is this go dark for a while? Like, what does him tearing his buttocks in half have anything to do with his social media presence? Like, because that's your hand, like, that's your thumbs. Like, what's the problem with posting to Instagram? That's in here too. Healing silence. What is this healing silence?
What's up? How did he do this? I'm so confused. Brian May, how did you tear your butt? How did you destroy your buttocks? Did it really have anything to do with gardening? Or maybe you stepped out of line, maybe you said something you shouldn't have said. Was it something you posted about the COVID? Did you talk about some medically unsubstantiated information and then they came over to your house and just ripped your butt in half? Or maybe it was just an accident, I'm not sure, I just can't.
Damn dog. Anyways, I think I'm just gonna call it right here, right now, right in this moment. It's good to be here with you guys. I appreciate your time. Thanks for the lols in the chat, Grant Harper. The chat seems to be a little different every day, and that's definitely on me. Just trying to get a little more regularity. It's my big dream to have an actual time slot for this show, so I can tell you actually, hey, tune in at blank. I will see you tomorrow. And I got pretty close today, actually. Closer than before. Plan is to do this about 2 hours earlier than I'm doing it right now, which would be it's 9:30 my time. That would be midnight 30 in LA. That would give me that 33. And whatever other times those would be in those other time zones. Constantly dealing with the separation. But let me know what you think, leave a comment. Hang out with Grant Harper sometime. And let me know your thoughts. I'd love to hear your theory about what Brian May did. What was it? How did he tear his butt? How did he do it? Did he have help? Hey, and Grant, type as much as you want in the chat. I appreciate every single comment that is made on this channel. I read all of them. And if you want to go hard in the chat, just go hard in the chat. I I would as well. I think if I were you, if the tables were turned. I mean, I'm going pretty hard in the chat on my end. That's I'm talking, you know. Yeah, but I hope you have a good one. If you need to get some sleep, get some sleep. If you have to get off your ass and actually like achieve something, then do that. I'm gonna see what I can make out of the rest of this day. I'm gonna try to make it a good one though. And that's okay. Stay dark, bro. Just keep it real.
Yeah, keep it real.